Welcome to the Bible Adventures Network, your peaceful home for scripture brought to life through deep, immersive storytelling for the whole family. Today, we step into one of the most remarkable accounts of faith in the entire Bible, a story of loyalty, of courage, of quiet strength in the face of danger. This is the story of Daniel in the lion's den. It is not simply about a man surrounded by lions, it is about trusting God when the world watches. It is about standing firm when it would be easier to bow. It is about the God who protects his people, even in the darkest places. Wherever you are listening from, your living room, your kitchen table, your car, or gathered together as a family, take a deep breath. Let's enter a powerful story of faith under pressure. The story begins long before the lions. Daniel was taken from Jerusalem as a young man and brought to Babylon, a powerful empire filled with new languages, new customs, and new gods. But Daniel carried something deep within him, a commitment to the God of Israel. He lived with integrity, he served with wisdom, he honored God quietly but consistently. Over time, Daniel's character shone so brightly that even the kings of Babylon noticed. By the time King Darius ruled the land, Daniel had risen to a place of great authority. Darius planned to put him in charge of the entire kingdom, but not everyone celebrated Daniel's success. Jealous officials watched him closely, waiting for him to slip, searching for any fault. Yet scripture tells us they could find none. Daniel was faithful, he was trustworthy, he was unwavering. So his enemies devised a plan, not based on Daniel's mistakes, but on his devotion. The officials approached King Darius with a flattering idea. Let the king issue a decree that for 30 days no one may pray to any god or man except the king. Anyone who disobeyed would be thrown into the lion's den. It was a trap designed for one man, Daniel. The king, unaware of their scheme, agreed. The law was signed, sealed, and unchangeable. But Daniel did something extraordinary. He went home. He opened his windows toward Jerusalem. He knelt as he always had, and he prayed. Not in hiding, not in fear, but with steady devotion. Daniel understood the cost. He knew the consequences, but he chose obedience to God over safety. His enemies rushed to the king. Daniel does not honor your decree, they said. He continues to pray to his God. Darius was devastated. He valued Daniel deeply, but the law of the Medes and Persians could not be undone. Daniel must be thrown into the lion's den. As evening fell, Daniel was brought to the place of execution. Massive stone walls surrounded the pit. The air echoed with the low growls of hungry lions. The king looked at Daniel with sorrow and said, "May your God, whom you continually serve, rescue you." Daniel was lowered into the dark chamber. A stone was rolled over the entrance. The seal of the king was pressed into the clay. Everything looked final, but Daniel was not alone. In the silence of the den, in the cold darkness, in a place intended for death, God sent an angel. Scripture tells us the angel shut the mouths of the lions. Daniel looked at the great beasts surrounding him, their powerful bodies resting peacefully, their jaws closed, their hunger restrained by the hand of God. In that place of danger, Daniel found perfect safety. Above ground, the king could not sleep. He paced through the night, waiting, hoping, praying in his own way. At dawn, he hurried to the den. "Daniel," he called out, voice trembling, "has your God, whom you continually serve, been able to rescue you?" Then, from the darkness, Daniel answered, "My God sent his angel, and he shut the lions' mouths." Daniel emerged without a scratch. The crowd was astonished. The king was overjoyed. Daniel's deliverance became a testimony to the entire kingdom. King Darius immediately ordered Daniel's accusers to face the punishment they had plotted against him. And then the king issued a new decree. Throughout the empire, people were to honor the God of Daniel. For he is the living God. His kingdom shall never end. He rescues, he saves, he performs signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. Daniel continued to prosper, and his faith continued to shine for generations. A lesson for us today. The story of Daniel in the lion's den speaks to every one of us. We all face pressure. We all face moments when doing what is right comes with a cost. We all face situations where fear tries to silence faith. Daniel's life teaches us that faithfulness is powerful, even when quiet. Integrity matters, even when unnoticed. Obedience to God is worth more than the approval of people. God never abandons his children, even in the darkest places. And when we stand firm, God stands with us. You may feel surrounded by your own lions today: fear, stress, uncertainty, difficult people, or overwhelming situations. But just as God was with Daniel, He is with you. He sees you, He knows your heart, and He is able to protect, strengthen, and deliver you. Thank you for joining this journey today on the Bible Adventures Network.